Hi, welcome to another $1 masterclass with me, Clay. This class is one of the foundation $1 masterclass videos, which are designed to give you a kind of foundation in the kind of key principles of harmony in theory. So we're starting right at the start. Now, as I always stress, you don't need to know this stuff to kind of make the music that you want to make. You can go as far as you like without using any theory or any knowledge of harmony. If your ear is good enough, it'll give you all the theory and harmony without you even kind of realizing. It's useful to know. It does help, and I know lots of people just like to know how things work. So if you're interested, this video is for you. Now we're starting right at the beginning, but there'll be a whole series of these. If you find this a bit too basic, just skip on a few videos until you find the one that kind of matches the kind of level you're at. You'll also find that with these foundation videos, there's a PDF that goes with it, which covers it all, has it all written down. It's not. I'm not saying it exactly as it's transcribed, but I am following it in the same order. So I've actually got it just here. I'm actually looking at it just here. So we start with key centers and scales. So when we look at the piano, what we're going to look at today is the major scale. That's all we're looking at in this video. The next one we'll look at minor scales. This one we're just looking at the major scale and how it's constructed. Okay, so when we look at the piano keyboard, we can see we've got these clusters of 2 and 3 black notes all the way up. So basically it just repeats, the patterns repeat all the way up. We can see this is middle C, called middle C because it's the C near closest to the middle of the piano. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 C's on the standard piano keyboard. This one is middle C. Okay, now some people think the black notes and the white notes are different and that these ones are somehow minor or sharps or something like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's just if we count how many tones there are, how many semitones, in fact, the smallest increment is a semitone and the biggest is a tone. So 2 semitones equals 1 tone. Those are our building blocks. You can think of it like binary code if you like. So we've got, how many semitones have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 semitones. And then here, an octave. Back to where we started. If all the keys were this wide, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can't stretch that. You need to be able to stretch an octave. I can stretch a tenth. I can't stretch to there. Rachmaninoff could probably stretch to there. Most of us can't stretch our hands that far. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why the keyboard is arranged this way, because otherwise it'd be, apart from anything else, you can see how if it's an 88 note keyboard, it would be kind of from here to the wall wide. So that's why. Sometimes these are called sharps, sometimes they're called flats. Sometimes these are called sharps and flats. This note can be called E sharp. We've got C, D, E sharp. Normally we'd call it F. These are kind of naming conventions depending on the key signature. Not something we really want to get into right now. Okay, so today we're looking at the major scale and how it's constructed. So let's say we're going to use C because it's the easiest one to visualize, because we're not using any of these. So remember, we've got our building blocks are tones and semitones. So 2 semitones equals 1 tone. So if I say this is my tone 1, now that might seem a little bit counterintuitive because it's like, why is that 1? I've just started. It's for 1 from where? Just the way it is. Okay, so this is tone 1. Okay, now we're going to go up to tone 2. So we're going to count 1 semitone. That gives us a tone. Now remember, as you'll notice in a lot of these other videos, when we're counting gaps, we count the note we start on, the note we finish on, and the notes in between. That way we can't go wrong. So a tone is we count the note we start on, the note in the middle, and the note we end up on. Gives us 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 is a tone. Now a major scale is constructed tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 and then the last semitone brings us back to where we started. All major scales are constructed in the same way. So we've got tone, 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 semitone. We can see this is a semitone, there's no black note in the middle here. Now we go up a tone, 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 semitone. Again, you can see there's no black note in the middle here. So the gap between these two and these two is both a semitone. Semitone, semitone. That's another reason why C is a really useful key to kind of visualise this concept in. Okay, so we got tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. All major scales are constructed in that same way. Major and minor, what are we talking about? Okay, we're talking about big and small. Major incident, minor incident. And we're talking about a big and small gap between our starting note, whatever key it is we're in, and the third note of the scale. So if it's a big gap, like this one, tone, 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 we call that major, big. If it goes tone, tone, semitone, then that's small, so we call that minor. So that applies to a scale, a chord, a key signature, anything. It's all comes. This is the most important kind of interval and the most important concept really in Western. One of the most important concepts in Western music is this kind of relationship between the main note, the note we keep coming back to. If we're in the key of C, we're probably going to finish on C. The melody will probably finish on C. Doesn't have to, but chances are it will. So this is our key note, and then this is the third note above our key note. That relationship. This is a big interval, major, small interval, minor. Okay. Let's look at the note halfway between C and C. It's an F sharp. Okay, here we're going to get into a little bit about key signatures. Don't worry if it doesn't make sense at first. We'll be coming back to this later. So you can skip this bit if you want. So what we're going to do is, this is quite a difficult key signature. It's actually got 6 sharps. So again, don't worry too much about that. But we can work it out just by using our tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So if we take this as our starting note, we're going to go up a tone, we're going to go up another tone, now we're going to go up a semitone, now we're going to go up a tone, and another tone, and another tone, and then another semitone brings us back to F sharp. If I shifted this on a MIDI keyboard down, this would sound identical to this. Because it's a major scale, they're always the same, they're just in different places on the keyboard. Okay, now this is called F sharp. So we're going to call these, so with the note naming we say F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F. So you might think, well, why are we calling that an E sharp and not an F? It looks like an F to me, but we're calling it E sharp. The reason is we can only have one letter for each note. So we've already got an F. All right, it's an F sharp, but it's still F. So it goes up just like the alphabet. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So it's F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. That's why we're going to have to call this E sharp. Because when we write the key signature, we write 6 sharps on the score. If we kept playing this and calling it F, every time we got this note, we'd have to put a natural in front of it. Again, let's not get bogged down with that. So the key things to take away from this first foundation tutorial are our building blocks are semitones and tones. Those are our two building blocks. All major scales are constructed the same way. Tone, 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 semitone. Tone, 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 semitone. The most important interval is the interval of a major third or a minor third. Major means big, minor means small. A major third is 3 tones. Tone, tone, tone. Minor third, tone, tone, semitone. When we count the note we start on, the note we finish on, all the notes in between. So a tone is 1, 2, 3, and a semitone is 1, 2. Okay, you'll find all this in the PDF as well. Some people like to see it written down. It helps to clarify it. Don't worry if it seems a bit counterintuitive. It will all become more and more clear and easy to kind of figure out the more we do. So I will see you in the next video when we get into minor scales. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.